companies are undergoing changes, transformational projects, and we saw a lot of that happening during the pandemic. Messy problems. And how do we address those messy problems using design thinking and a design-led approach? Welcome to the FutureNow Talks. Rashid, can you tell me what is a design-led approach?
I would say it uses design thinking like you mentioned. And if I was to quote IDEO, it's a process for creative problem solving. So what that really means is that it's a platform for collaboration. It's great for breaking down organizational silos. And it also provides, a lot of companies are trying to innovate. It provides a great framework for innovation.
And how do you break organizational silos?
Organizational silos, you would approach that with doing a lot of research and engaging all of your customers and engaging all the stakeholders involved in the process.
Such as?
You could think about product or service launches. Companies do that all the time. And they want to be sure that the product or service that they're about to launch is something that their customers want. And it's something that is going to solve a problem for their customer. How do they actually do that? How do they achieve that? That would be a nice situation where you use the design-led approach.
So Rashid, who would be your stakeholders if, let's say, the client was a hospital?
If you think about the stakeholders in a typical hospital or healthcare organization, it would be patients would be the heart of it, right? You have patients visiting hospitals. You also have clinicians and physicians or doctors. That would be a second segment. And the third one would be the hospital administration that's running and operating the hospital. So I would say when you're designing a transformation project for a hospital and it's designed around, let's say, a patient experience, you would still need to address the needs of the other stakeholders involved that I mentioned earlier.
Interesting. So what value would this bring in the end? Let's say they either launch a service without this exercise, without the design-led approach,
right,
or they go directly. Wouldn't it be faster if they just go directly?
Invaluable things that comes out of a design-led approach is end customer insights. I think when clients hear firsthand the voice of the customer, it's very revealing and it's very rewarding at the same time. So that's one of the first things. The second element would be something we discussed earlier was about failing fast, is the ability to be able to identify something that's not working and then iterating around that, prototyping and testing, and then using that information to come up with a different approach and something that allows better traction with customers. So that would be the second thing. So the third one, I think, is a better and faster go-to-market. Because you have all of these great insights from end customers, you also have a very good idea about what is working and what is not working. You're able to reduce the risk of going to market. You're able to then think about at least faster conversion rates, better adoption when you launch your service or product. So you're more confident about that.
What if it fails?
Failure is part of the process. Which is great because you learn from failure. So the idea is really about pivoting, is about identifying that something is not working and then finding a different way to solve the same problem. So failure is definitely part of the process. I think that's a very important part of the methodology and also of the mindset. It's about really understanding that the failure is something that you can learn from and pivot on.
What is one thing that you'd like to bring from the future? Something you expect that would happen and you want to bring it today. If you could choose one thing, what would it be?
That's a really good question. I believe online learning is an area that's developing, and the future for online learning is big. So a huge opportunity there, and there's a lot of great things happening in that space. And sometimes I do wish that there was a way to bring all of that great technology and insight and research today. I wish it was available today.
What would be the other way around? So if there's something today that you want to keep and preserve for the future.
Yeah, so that one I would say is flexible working, the concept of flexible working. And this is something we've learned last year. And it's a great, I think, asset to organizations for them to be able to continue offering flexible working for their employees and their staff. And this would definitely be something that was cherished if we could continue this in the future.
Thank you, Rashid, for joining us on FutureNow Talks. At FutureNow, we bring the latest solutions to Etisalat by collaborating with clients, IT developers, and startups. And that's what the FutureNow Talks are all about. Stay tuned.